Hey guys, StandardVR back with your daily Pokemon battles. We are on the Regulation J ranked ladder with this Darkrai Groudon team that was featured. It was featured on James Beck's channel. Big. Look at this. Look at this. This is the most aggressive Groudon you have ever seen. It is a Ground Terra, almost full attack, choice banded Groudon. It is absolutely ridiculous. Obviously, we have Gravity with Sandy Shocks. We have our Tailwind support over there with the Tornadus. We got the Life Orb. Terra Electric Raging Bolt, which is so nice. How do we deal with this? Well, Flutter looks kind of cracked. They have like 3 things that kind of auto die to Flutter, which does also mean that like if we just get Tailwind, like if we go Tailwind Sandy Shocks, get Gravity up, bring in Flutter and Groudon in the back? Doesn't that just kind of win? Or am I wrong? I'm probably wrong. But as we get into these battles, guys, drop a sub. We are so close to 300. The support has been absolutely amazing. We got a lot of cool content coming on down the line. So definitely don't want to miss it. We got a Groudon POW lead. So they could fear Rain Dance, so you might like switch out your Groudon. One can only hope. We do get a big speed boost. Obviously we're booster anyways, but we can just Tailwind, I think is a good play. And I do think we just set the Gravity. And both these Mons can go down. And then we just bring in Groudon. If you're Terra Fire your Groudon, you know I have a Groudon in the back, right? And I know you have a Shinpao, but like, I'm getting Tailwind and Gravity. Which means I am about to just Precipice Blades and Degleam until the cows come home. And I don't think there's much you can do about it. That being said, you could have Wide Guard on the Zamazenta, so that's something that we actually do want to be aware of, because we have 2 Choice Mons in the back. There's the Ice Spinner on the Sandy Shocks. It goes down, so sad. And there's a Flare Blitz. Cool. Which means I have everything set up to basically sleep with my 2 Mons in the back, as they are. I'm a Flight Blitz. Say, Recoil, are you orbed? You are orbed. Cool. So we just come in with the Banded Groudon and the Specs Flutter, and sorry, we just kind of hit things, right? Obviously, you can sucker with the POW. We got Speed Boost. I do think we still just Precipice Blades. I understand that there's a Zama, but I think there's Precipice Blades, and I think we just Terra Fairy Moonblast. You could come in with Ensign, but again, we're Banded Groudon. Probably didn't need a Terra Fairy this turn, because this does mean that Ensign can come in and fake out the Flutter, which isn't the greatest, but let's see what they're doing. No Sucker. Sash. Big P-Blades. And then we get to find out what their final 2 is. I just kind of wanted to Terra just so I didn't take... So I had resisted damage into Sucker Punch, instead of just neutral. Why I Terra'd there. But let's see. You also might have Rillaboom Zenta in the back, which is good. Wide Guard is good. Priority Grassy Glide is really good. What we got? They're taking a long time to think about their last 2 Mons. There's the Zamazenta. Do you have wide guard? There's the Rillaboom. Who you fake outing? Weirdly, I do think that we do go after the Rillaboom here, because you have to have Heavy Slam to check Flutter. And not all Zamas carry Heavy Slam, so if you do, good on you. There's Grassy Glide. Does a lot of damage to Groudon. Big Fairy Terra Moonblast. Nice. That Precious Blade should pick up from there. Big Banded Precious Blades does over half to Zenta. And we should have just enough Tailwind turns unless it runs out this turn and you Heavy Slam the Flutter. Yep. Cool. Even still, I don't think Body Press picks up Groudon. Get some nice recovery. We just P-Blades out. Gonna Wide Guard PP stall me. Nope, just Protect on the last turn of Tailwind and probably the last turn of Gravity as well. But we are getting more health back. And you definitely don't need a single target P-Blades. Yeah, we definitely had to get that Rilla off the board because 2 Grassy Glides would have taken out Groudon. Body Press not going to pick it up because Groudon's bulky and we had that Grassy Terrain recovery. We hit the P-Blades, take out the Zenta. GG's. Groudon Flutter, always busted. Let's get another one. Alright, we got a Groudon mirror match with an Altaria. We do got to watch out for Wisp from Sableye, so we're not Fire Terra Groudon, so that gets a little bit dicey. Obviously, Sableye could have screens. They could go Trick Room with that Ursaluna, which I do see that coming because we do have the double electric types in Bolt and Sandy Shocks. And we don't really have a defensive Terra away from it, which is not the greatest. But how do we deal with this? I think we do have to go Sandy Shocks Darkrai. I think that's kind of our only option here. Groudon's okay. If we could stop TR from going up, that's actually really nice. Bolt is not great here. Bolt's only good if we stop TR, and I think Groudon Flutter just kind of does the same thing except for not having priority, but I'm not really worried about priority because I don't think you're going Tailwind Altaria here. The other thing with Sableye is it could also have Quash, which makes this matchup very hard. A lot of ways this can go sideways. There's a Lunala Chi-Yu. They can Wide Guard, they can TR, they can get put to sleep. No, because they do have Wide Guard, which means you can avoid Dark Void. You can avoid Dark Void. Which means I do think that we just Earth Power the Chi-Yu. And I honestly want to just Protect. Yeah, that's fair. There's probably a Terra Fairy on the Lunala, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, just to avoid just like a Dark Pulse pop. It should be Wide Guard. And if it's not, I'm big sad. Drop Protect with Darkrai. No Wide Guard, so they just may be going straight for TR here. There's a Heat Wave. Alright, does take the Sandy Shocks down below half, and the D-Gleam should pick up Sandy Shocks. I wish I would have just went Gravity Dark Void, but I was respecting Wide Guard. Could have just put both things to sleep, but here we are. Okay, not in a great spot because this Chi-Yu outspeeds everything. That being said, we could go Flutter. I don't hate Flutter. And I don't know if that Chi-Yu is Scarfed, so... trying to think. I do think we just Dazzling Gleam and come in with Groudon. So that way we can get the speed boost, just in case that's a Scarf Chi-Yu. And this does kind of disrespect their ability to go Wide Guard this turn, but I really want to break Shadow Shield. And I really want to get rid of this Chi-Yu. Yep, cool. Going TR? Nope, just D-Gleam. Cool. It's going to do a lot of damage. And not as much as I thought, but you know, here we are. Alright, we got the opposing Groudon on the field. Where are we dropping? How are we doing this? We could go Darkrai. Could go D-Gleam, high horsepower into the Groudon. Because I don't want to get caught off. Oh, I'm still respecting the Wide Guard way too much. I don't think you have it. That still does a ton of damage. Moongeist Beam, gonna do a bit. Doesn't take me out. High horsepower the Groudon. Pick up that Groudon, because we are a banded Groudon. We are the better Groudon. Maybe not, but you know. I like to believe that banded Groudon is best Groudon, right? There's that Ursaluna. We just D-Gleam, and we high horsepower. We D-Gleam high horsepower the Lunala, because D-Gleam will pick up the Lunala, and if it doesn't, the high horsepower, if it does pick up, high horsepower gets redirected into the Ursaluna. And I want to make sure this Lunala gets off the board, because I do think it could still set Trick Room, and we just get folded by Protect. It's fine, don't worry. Alright, this D-Gleam is still going to do a chunk to Ursaluna. Their Spadef is not the greatest. Yep. Cool. High horsepower whiffs on the Lunala. Yep, so I was going to take Flutter out, but that's fine. I still think we're okay, weirdly. Because I think Dark Pulse does check Ursa. And you're not lefties on the Lunala, so... I think high horsepower picks up. I think we just Dark Pulse and high horsepower the Lunala. I don't know if you know, Darkrai is kind of busted in the special attack department. And again, most people are not calced for banded Groudon. So let's see it. There's that Dark Pulse. Doesn't pick up the Ursa, but we could get a flinch. D-Gleam's going to do a lot. High horsepower picks up Lunala. Now, unless you're going for Earthquake here, we should be okay. Unless we miss a high horsepower, which would be really sad. But Facade into Groudon. Cool. That's actually perfect because Dark Pulse, there's not a chance to miss. So I would much rather you have taken out the Groudon than the Darkrai. And this just goes to show Darkrai's offensive threat as well, not just a sleep bot. GG's. Why don't I like playing against Lunala? You never know what set they have. Guys, if you made it this far in the video, please like, comment, subscribe, and as always, have a great day. Peace.